So I'll just, do you have a clicker or anything, or I'll just have to come up and I mean, it's not the end of the world. It just makes like a little bit easier.
Yeah. If you got another USB port.
You know what, I'm muted because we have,
It doesn't have any audio?
okay,
Oh no, this doesn't.
yeah, and they'll be able to
He's the
hear,
audio.
yeah.
Right. So, as most of you probably know me by now, my name is Lukas Colf. I'm from Troop 55. I'm the SPL, so I'm the youth leader. I'm in charge of everyone, planning the meetings, making sure everything's going smoothly. We're getting, moving through the ranks and everything. So I'm kind of the adult, but still youth. So I'm in charge of everything. So some general information about Troop 55 over the past year. We've had 8 rank advancements, not including 2 Eagle Scouts, so a total of 10 rank advancements. The 2 Eagle Scouts, which we'll get to later in the presentation, were Hayden Afsiger and Justin Spellman. We've had 46 total merit badges that were earned, 105 hours volunteered total. Number's a little bit lower because we have less in our troop, and then 67 conservation volunteer hours. So, starting off the year, we had our pancake breakfast. So this was back in 2022 when we were still doing our drive-through because of COVID. So it was just us working in the kitchen. We had a few adults helping out, handing up dishes. We also had a crew outside that was directing traffic and taking orders. And then otherwise, it was just us in the kitchen making some pancakes. All right, and then we had Pack 30 crossovers. So we had 2 scouts, Jack and Toby from Pack 30 in Canandaigua, crossover into Troop 55. So we made sure we paid him a visit and welcomed him on over to our troop. And then roadside cleanup, as you guys know. So it's just picking up garbage on the side of 5 and 20. We like to help out with that. We like to help out Rotary since they're a sponsoring organization. And it's always a fun time. There's always pizza and drink afterwards at Parside.
No more.
All right, scuba diving. So, as we don't have many pictures for this one because not all phones are waterproof. But so it was a bunch of us. There's this place up in
Brighton,
and it's kind of like a trial scuba dive place. So that it's an indoor pool. So we did do this in the middle of winter. But if you want to be introduced to scuba diving, you get to go in a pool. There's a few different depths. The deepest part is 15 feet, and you get to put on the scuba gear and go under the water. And it's always been a blast. I know my ears are always messed up afterwards from the pressure, and they hurt, but it's always worth it. You get to play with stuff like bowling balls and golf balls under the water. And in this picture, we were attempting to make a stack where we were all on our hands and knees and trying to stack up under the water. It worked for a few seconds, but yeah, and then we started to fall. But it's definitely a fun experience. So we like thanking our heroes, being in Troop 55. So this was honor flights, and it's always nice being able to watch the veterans as tears are coming down their face because the honor flight meant so much to them. Altitude, so this is always a fun trip that I like to plan. We go to altitude up in Henrietta. We'll usually do this during a troop meeting, so that way it's not taking up any of our weekend time. And it's just a huge open bunch of trampolines. There's foam pits. There's rock walls that you get to climb. It's just a fun way to burn out some energy before, the next Friday at school. Just a nice time to relax. All right, during one of our troop meetings, we did a bike ride around Bloomfield. It's about a 5-mile trail. It kind of goes around Bloomfield. You end up downtown by Dunkin' Donuts. Everyone enjoys it. We always get our bikes. The weather's always nice. As you can see, the sun was setting, so it's nice and beautiful. A lot of us have lights on our bikes, which is so fun to see at nighttime with all the funky colors. In the bottom picture, you can see that I have my bike wagon, which holds jackets and water bottles and anything like that. And we've talked about also setting up a longer bike trip of maybe hauling everything that we would need for a camp out, or just riding our bikes 20 miles and then having the troop trailer there with all of our camping stuff, so that way we could bike and spend the night. So then whitewater rafting, so this is up in Letchworth. They have a whitewater rafting. This always a blast. It's always cold too. I'm always freezing. But there was a bunch of us, friends, family, everyone's invited. You just get in a bunch of rafts and you go down the river, and that's basically it. So Rio Tomatlin, so one of the scouts in our troop, he's no longer with us, he actually moved down to Mexico, but I've heard he's back too. However, his father owns a restaurant, Rio Tomatlin in Canandaigua. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or been there. And he has a certain part upstairs that has another whole kitchen, and he's invited us, and even though Roman, who is his son, who is in the troop, isn't in the troop, he's still very welcoming of us and wants us to come. So we've done a few events there. We've done like an Iron Chef or like a Master Chef Gordon Ramsay type thing, where everyone gets ingredients and then you have to cook up a dish, and then you have your judges, which are the parents. And then we've also done it where he kind of teaches us some Mexican dishes or stuff, how to boil water, just simple stuff like that, or how to sharpen knives. And it's so cool because he's in the kitchen, all of his life, and he has all these tricks and stuff, which is so cool to see. So, Hayden Nafziger is an official Eagle Scout. You guys know Hayden? Yeah, so he got his Eagle rank in February? March? I know he ages out in February. So.
Yeah, May. May was BOR.
Alright, so, and he did 2, what he calls mini free libraries. He did one here at Veterans Park and one at Fountain Park. You take a book, leave a book. Pretty simple, but it definitely helps out the community with spreading books around. Alright, we had our 100 years celebration and our Court of Honor, so this was out here at the pavilion. We're celebrating Troop 55 and 100 years of Troop 55 being around. There was also a Rotary presentation. We had a few other people there. We also did a flag retirement ceremony, which meant a lot, and it was our 100 years. So summer camp at Camp Gorton, I wasn't able to attend this one, but it was Camp Gorton is out of district. Normally we go to Camp Hovey, but as some of you may know, that was actually sold. So Camp Gorton was out of district, and they were very welcoming. Sometimes you have to pay extra to have your scouts go, but the ones who did go said they had a blast, and they would definitely go again. So I attended National Youth Leadership Training over the summer. So as I mentioned, I'm the SPL, and I decided, what can I do to make it better? So NYLT is a camp that you go to for a week, and the part of it is that you don't know a single person there, and that was the case for me. I didn't know anyone there. You get in a troop or little patrols at a camp up in Camp Cutler, and I was with 5 other boys that I had no clue who they were, and you kind of have to function as a family for the week. So you have to cook breakfast and dinner, you camp together, you complete, anything really. We also did a backpacking trip and we all just worked together. At first it was kind of like we didn't know each other, and then we had some disagreements, and then later at the end we all kind of grew to love each other, and that was something that they teach you in the presentations that they have. You have storming, norming, and performing. So you're kind of like, on edge with each other at first, and then you start working together and getting things done, and then at the end you know how to all work together. And it was a fun program. I definitely miss it at times, and I was with these people who chances are I'll never see again, and I was with them for a week. So the Challenge Trophy Camporee was the last camp activity that would be held at Camp Babcock Hovey. That was in the fall, and I wasn't able to attend this one, but the other scouts were. There's hundreds of people there, hundreds of troops, and there's hundreds of activities to do all throughout the day. It's just a weekend trip. And they got there Friday night, and they played all day Saturday. There's, like I said, just a bunch of challenges. You get to take home cool trophies and everything. And it's a huge scouting event that they get to participate with a bunch of other scouts. So we also had a corn maze night. So this is where friends and family are welcomed. It's nighttime, you get to run through the corn maze, and it's just a blast. So honor flight again, which was a few months ago. But like I said, just thanking our veterans and being able to see them walk down with tears on their eyes, because it just means so much to them. Really hits you in the heart. So then our other Eagle Scout was Justin Spellman. He did a like a flag. He's probably presented to you guys about what he did at the cemetery, so that was awesome. So he is 16. Yeah, he's 16 now. So he got his Eagle Scout. So he's a little bit on the younger side, but you know it's nice having an Eagle Scout from Troop 55. Our pancake breakfast this year, we went back to having the dine-in area, so we had everyone was welcome and everything, which was a lot more fun in my perspective because you get to hear from the community and see people as they come in and everything. A little bit more work too, and given that we are a smaller troop, we did have to have a little bit of parent help because we have guys out here bussing tables, waiting on tables, while we're also trying to cook pancakes, eggs, and sausage in the kitchen, plate up plates and everything. But it's definitely something. I feel like I'm running, our own little restaurant, which I enjoy. So then we had the Yeti games. So there was not a Klondike this year, which is where you actually spend the night in the snow, in the cold. This was just a day activity for the boys. Similar to CTC, the Challenge Trophy Camporee, but this one is just, a bunch of activities with other scouts. They have fun. So Jack in the middle, he won an award in first place for the longest snow snake. So he was able to, it's just, a thin piece of wood that you push through the snow and then it slides, and he got over 200 feet, which was crazy. So he was pretty happy about that award. And then they had to capture the Yeti or something like that. So because of the Yeti games, so they enjoy that.
And there was actually snow for it.
Yes, there was. So then we helped out Pack 54 with the Pinewood Derby. So as you can see, I was running the computer, doing the races. We also had other scouts that were setting the track so the cars could go down. And 421 also helped us out. They were getting the tracks from the end of the track, getting the cars from the end of the track. So that way they could be reset, and everything was going pretty smoothly. All right, so some of our troop meeting activities. So as SPL, I kind of fell off a little bit, I would say, if I would reflect on myself, given that our meetings, I would wait till last minute to kind of half plan them, and I'd be like, oh, well, we'll just work on requirements, and I kind of realized, this isn't good because I'm just stressing until last minute, and I feel like the boys aren't happy, so I kind of did a little reboot, and I looked up a bunch of activities that we could do, and so now we have more of a plan and structure in our meetings, which, at school and everything, that helps out so much more because that's less I have to worry about. So some of the activities we're doing, this is called helium stick, and the point of the game is everyone has to keep one finger on the stick, and it's just a thin PVC pipe, and lower it to the ground, and the point of it is that everyone's putting pressure on it, lifting up to keep their finger on it while they're trying to lower it to the ground. The other thing we did was kind of a landmine game, so they're blindfolded and you have one person that has to talk you through the maze without stepping on anything, and you had to pick up the Christmas wreath at the end. We also went and Schlanker's Farm Market. They had a really small corn maze there. We went there for one troop activity. We picked pumpkins, which we later then carved that meeting, and we also got to run through this corn maze, and we did time trials to see who could run through it the fastest. And then for one of our other meetings, what did we do? We decided the boys had 10 minutes and they had to build the tallest tower out of newspaper and tape. And it had to be freestanding. And so and I have a few other activities planned for the future, and I feel as an SPL, this has really boosted my morale, and I think everyone is so much happier. So Eagle Project updates. As you guys know, I'm working on my Eagle Project. I'm doing the Sean Fox Memorial Playground. So I've raised over $2,000 in donations. The total project cost was estimated to be about $5,300. I had the pavers down in the bottom left-hand corner donated from Old Domain. That was about a $2,300 to $2,500 donation, and just supplies right there. The big presentation that I did was for everyone of the church congregation, and this way everyone knows what's going on with the church. I've presented to the church committee, but this way I was able to present to everyone in the church, and I got a lot of donations from that, and it was nice meeting everyone and seeing what this project will benefit church-wise. But then reaching out, I posted something on Facebook, and that reached out a lot in the community, and I actually got in touch with Sean's mother. Sean was the who the playground is dedicated for. He passed away when he was 5.5, and it was really nice being able to meet his family and knowing, what more this project is doing. I guess I just purchased the handicap swing from Bears Playgrounds, and donations are still coming. I'm going to other businesses and stuff in Bloomfield and collecting donations, and it's coming along. My date is May 11th, which is when I age out and when all the paperwork has to be in before. So it's, being a senior and everything, there's things, I'm reflecting on that, and I should have worked on it sooner, but there's nothing I can do about it now, right? So chances are though, it's gonna be awesome. So, and I have dates set for building the ramps, and then I have other dates set for actually assembling the ramps and putting the playground all together. All right. True 55 thanks you guys for your support. Thank you.